Ooh, let's get it, folks. Let's get some qualifying laps going. Had a little bit of a heated moment earlier at the end of the last stream, but you know, I was just I was just high, so let the driving get the best of me for a late night sesh. Hoping to have a little different start to things. Got about 6 minutes till the race starts. Probably get about 2 or 3 laps in, give or take. Instead of about 3 laps. Definitely testing the limits of the track right there. I mean, it's definitely what qualifying, in my opinion, is all about. You know, testing the limits, trying to find that new time, that record time. Finding a new line that may work better for you and for the track. Much better exit coming out of that. Meeting barrier right there. Ideally what we want to do. Going a bit wide right there. I'm just looking at my team. He's taking on a good stream. Really good exit out of that corner. May potentially be able to set a record lap here. It's gonna be at 44, so about 2 seconds. Slower than our fastest time. A bit faster through that first turn. Not too nice, but still a bit ahead going into this turn. So. And definitely gonna gain right here. So up a good solid second and a half. Should be about 1.8, I'd say, by the end of this sugar win. Good exit out of that corner. definitely going to be an improvement, but I'm not quite sure if it's going to be there for the record. It doesn't really look like it, so coming down the line, we're going to see what it's looking like. It's going to be 42.5, so let's see if we can improve that on this last lap here. Exit as goes to in front of me, but we'll see if we can maybe outbrake and do better through some of these upcoming sections. And looks like that's exactly what we're going to do right here, 100%. Gonna take that corner out beautifully. Maybe about a tenth of a second, about 2/10 of a second going into this roundabout up ahead. Yeah, getting a good exit going out of there. Sharpen it on the final corner, and not gonna be able to, but it's alright. Going into this race, we will see where we pan out on the grid. Ooh, so starting in third, not too bad. Not in the best rating class at the moment, but we'll see what we can do. So it looks like we got a Ford GT at the front, and then a FT1 in front of us. So starting in third shouldn't be too bad. So it does look like guy 6 positions having a good night off some shroomies. So looking at the grid, looks like a lot of these cars definitely some straight line power. Definitely not going to be too good in the turns, so I figure, you know, if we can definitely handle our turns decently, and I mean, this first lap can always get hectic, so oh well, we actually forgot to change our tires to the racing soft, or the racing softs, so, or my bad, racing mediums. We're gonna be starting on the softs, if I'm not wrong, but that's alright. If anything, being in the top 3, you know, hopefully we can just put our head down and really get away from this group behind us. This first turn, I'm just really hoping that we don't get hit in the back. It's my main worry at the moment. It's usually what ends up happening in these races. You know, these first laps can get really hectic, and then usually, you know, after the second, third lap, things really start to settle down. Positions start to pan out, and the one-on-one fights start happening. But looking into this first turn, we're definitely going to be cautious, but obviously wanting to stay ahead of the group behind us. So yeah, as I was saying, a lot of these cars just a lot of straight line power. We're actually getting a really, man, someone just decided to turn right on a left-hand turn. Going off track a little bit right there. Gonna have to go a bit on the defensive going into this turn. Definitely having a pretty decent exit coming out of it. We do have a guy behind us in the Genesis off the shrooms. So we're coming for that overtake. Definitely gonna want to be aware of that. So sitting in third position. Looks like he's definitely making a little bit of mistakes. I'm not side by side with this guy at the moment. He is gonna give up the position and getting an actually really good exit out of that corner. Looks like there might have been a little bit of contact possibly at that corner behind us, so I'm just gonna be able to put our head down and just really look ahead. Not to make that same mistake going on that grass like we did before. Getting a decent exit, and then that gap in front of us definitely starting to come down from the looks of it. But that Ford definitely a monster in the straight line. So something to take into account. Looks like we made a little mistake coming out of that corner, so we'll see if through this little section we can gain a tad bit. Not quite doing that, but just wanted to ever slowly get closer to this guy. We do have a straightaway right here, so looks like he going a bit off the track. We'll see. Looks like we're gonna set the fastest lap of the race on that lap, so it's definitely a good sign, I'd say. And that gap really starting to come down. You know, we're at 6/10 second. Went through a really good technical section, maybe a chance to overtake coming out of this corner. Maybe not this corner, but the next corner. Possible switcheroo maneuver. I'm not going to be able to get that move quite done, but we are going to stick on the slip shoe with this guy in front of us as much as possible. You know, that Ford, like I was saying, just a beast, but since we're on the slip shoe, he's not gaining as much on us. Man, that Ford definitely not so good on those corners. Time going out of that corner. See if we can gain it back coming out of this section right here, and it looks like we might be able to do just that. Although that Ford is just so damn fast. Really, it's hard to keep up with that thing in the Porsche. You know, don't get me wrong, this thing handles amazingly beautifully, but it can definitely get hard to stay on these faster cars in front of us. that gap though behind us, coming down to about 5 seconds actually. So definitely starting to split away from the pack, thankfully. As we come up to this technical section. Oh, getting a little bit of understeer, sadly going out of that first corner. Still getting a great exit, gaining on not getting quite the exit we wanted, but still not hitting the barrier. Definitely, I feel like a lot of pressure on both of us. You know, me having the better handling car, him having the faster car. Can't imagine, you know, sitting in first and a little bit more pressure. Getting a little bit of time actually through that section. So. Quite a decent exit out of that little corner. Ooh, oversteering just a tad bit. Gonna lose a bit of time right here, but it's alright. We are gonna see if Mr. Warner decides to pit. Doesn't look like he's gonna. We do know we are faster through this section, so we are gonna try and outbrake just a bit right here, gain as much time as possible. Oh yeah, definitely gaining some time back right there. Exactly what we want to do. And really starting to put our foot down. Put our head down and split away from this pack behind us. You know, we got 10 seconds behind us. So we are going to see what ends up happening when we go into the pits. Getting a pretty decent exit going out of that corner. So on track for another fast lap actually. On the rubber right there, but keeping it on track. What the? What the? So, very, very confused as to what that guy was doing. I have absolutely no idea what that was. Probably gonna cost us the first place. That was just genuinely, kind of, I've never seen anything quite like that. No idea what that was. He kind of just stopped right in the pit lane. No idea why. You know, usually this game you would think you'd go into the pit lane pretty fast, as there being no context rules about entering slowly. So this guy obviously thinking we're in some F1. Not F1, buddy. No, it's not. Those back tires definitely starting to go out a little bit. We are going to have to pit on this lap, sadly. Probably going to lose, I'm going to say at least 3 or 4 positions, but the good thing will be coming out on some fresher tires than Mr. Varner. And wow, those back tires really just, yeah, starting to give out. serving a penalty. Yeah, no. That's just... it's really sad. So, absolutely no idea what Varner was doing there. Really upsetting, uncalled for, just genuinely stupid, plain outright dumb. No reason to be stopping in the pit lane. So, and as you guys saw, it just, you know, straight put me right, back at the starting line, which is not where I wanted to be. Somehow Varner ended up in the pits and I ended up at the starting line, which didn't quite make any sense to me, but no time to complain. So we are going to see if we can somehow catch this pack. You know, top three are definitely very close together. We're going to hope that they begin to fight, and maybe we can suppress this gap in front of us. Oh, and man, getting a little late on the brakes right there, but able to keep it on track. Not losing too much time in the person behind us. So I want to keep that gap at least a second. Oh wow. Fresh tires definitely a bit slippery. Thank you for sending it in the stream, by the way. Sitting in 4th place, starting in 3rd. Varner sitting in 2nd place decided to stop in the middle of the pit lane entry. And basically had me reset at the starting line, so I wasn't able to pit and lost a few spots, sadly. But as you can see down at the bottom left-hand side, that fast lap set by me. So we're gonna see if we can put our head down and really dig deep and catch up to these guys in front of us. I mean, I'm hoping they're fighting, but from the looks of it, I don't think that's what's happening. But, you know, that gap coming down from 19 seconds to 15, so could have been a little commotion, someone going into a barrier. Going onto the grass a little bit right there, but still getting some time on the people in front of us. Although that person behind us, that Audi, really starting to come into view. Much like the 4GT, who I believe is in 1st place at the moment, just quite a beast in these corners. And just not rotating the car like we want to right there. Although we are going to keep the position for right now. Oh, and going off behind us, it looks like just a bit. Yep, going off. Man, these tires are real slippery, and it does look like the top two are going to pit, going for an 8-lap pit strategy. So, looks like we are gonna end up perhaps in 2nd place. So 14-second gap in front of us. 2 laps to go. Can we get it done, folks? You know, that gap's really coming down actually in front of us. That 4GT, you know, those tire wears, I mean, especially the Porsche, oh wow, really late on the brakes right there. Not what we want to do. We're gonna have to go defensive on this turn up here. 1st place definitely not happening. Ooh, and a little bit of contact. Looks like the guy definitely hit the barrier behind us. B in the Ferrari. Ferrari definitely a monster in the straights. Definitely expecting a overtake attempt right here, so we are going to see what we can defend off. And coming down to this last lap, definitely going to be scary. And looks like we got behind us going into the barrier. So that gap's going to come up to about 0.8 of a second coming across the line. A little bit more actually, about a second. So looks like we're going to put a little tad mistake going into that last turn. So going into this last lap, about an 18-second gap in front of us. You know, 1 second gap behind us. Let's see if we can defend all the overtakes. See if we can just keep this gap increasing. Not making that same mistake of not braking soon enough on that one turn. Getting a really good exit coming out of that, and that gap behind us definitely coming down. Good exit coming out of that turn, and yeah, see ya, bud. Now this gap in front of us, I wish we could have done something earlier. Sadly not able to, but all is well that ends well. Coming to these last few turns, starting in third. Looks like we are going to be ending in a safe podium finish in second place. Going on aggressive pace. Glad we're not spinning out. Second gap behind us, and you know, it does look like there's going to be a penalty on the person in first place, so looks like we're going to be moving up into first place, folks. Not ideally what I'd want to happen, but I'll take it, you know. First place podium finish, that's what we like to see. Hold my beer, guy on shrooms, ended up I think leaving the lobby if I'm not wrong, down at the bottom of the, actually it wasn't a Genesis, my bad, it was a V12 Vantage, I think the Aston Martin if I'm not wrong. So it does look like the two Porsches up on top. Definitely two better handling cars for this this track. A lot of those you know, those cars down at the bottom, amazing straight line power, very very fast, honestly, in my opinion. It's just, you know, through those more technical sections, you know, we can definitely get them done, you know, a little bit quicker. So love to see that. Earning a new trophy right there. So gaining a little bit of money right there. Let's hop into the next race, folks. So our rating right up there in the top middle, DR standing for driver rating, SR standing for sportsmanship. Driver ratings shows for how fast you are, sportsmanship obviously for how clean you race. A plus being the top for, or my bad, S being the top for driver rating, but A plus is, if I'm not wrong, actually the top for these lobbies due to S being only tournaments and competition gameplay. But sportsmanship, I believe A is the highest you can get. So anyways, we're gonna hop into this race again. We're gonna see if we can perhaps maybe shrink that time down. Hopefully start in first place and maybe get another first place dub. Gonna grab some water real quick. I'll be right back, you guys. Alrighty. Really good exit out of that corner. Even though lap's not started yet. Always gonna get a good exit coming across the line. Good speed coming across the line. Over that curve, not quite the way we want to, but still doing decent time for this section. About 5/10 of a second down on our best record, or our best time. It's actually getting a bit of a better exit out of that corner. Really utilizing those lines. About 2/10, 1.5 tenths up on our Ghost. Definitely getting a little bit better of an exit. Going on the grass, I'm going to hand off the wheel for one moment. Not getting the exit we want out of that, so it definitely shows even with the slightest mistakes, you can lose just tenths of a second at a time. Into the corner just a bit right there. Losing a tad bit of time. Not going to be the worst lap in the world, but by any means, definitely not the best. Yeah, not quite there. So it looks like we're going to get one more lap before this race starts. As you can see, it's top middle of the screen, about 2 minutes, 10 seconds left. Going over the curve just a little bit, so gonna end up at about 2 seconds, or 2/10 of a second. And it looks like it's gonna raise up that time by about 5/10 of a second. about 1.5 tenths of a second on our best lap of this session at the moment. Could be potential to perhaps set a new record lap. It looks good. The track we are on right now, we are on point to do that. Decent exit out of that corner. If we can get this last corner right, we definitely not gonna quite do that, but definitely might be an improvement coming across the line from the looks of it. Yeah, no, not gonna be quite an improvement, I don't believe, but we'll see. Actually, yeah, gonna be an improvement. So a 42.06. Wanted to get down into those 41s, but not quite. It looks like not quite destined. Although getting a pretty decent exit out of that corner. So that's, you know, that shows there's always room for improvement on each and every corner. But I'm gonna load right on up and see how this race goes. Finishing in first last race. See if we can replicate that same thing. Ooh. Gonna be starting in second, actually, so not bad. A few more Porsches in this lobby, but definitely a mixed lobby. We got some B drivers, E being the lowest rating, B one of the higher ratings. So definitely a mixed lobby right here, all the way from B and down to E ratings. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully this first lap isn't too hectic. Ooh, we are going to be wanting to start on these medium tires. Although starting on the softs could be ideal. Although I do think we're probably going to end up going and starting on the mediums. Ooh. Turn that traction control up to 4. Get our radar on. So that guy in first place setting minute 40 in I believe it's a 1:45 or a 1:40.5 if I'm not wrong. So about 2 seconds faster in that Genesis, and if I'm not wrong, that Genesis having the world record lap time for this week for this track. So definitely a fast car. I believe really good mix of handling and speed. So at least for this track. So starting in second, really what we want right now is just not to get any bumps from the back. Hoping we can keep it clean. So let's see how this race goes. Hopping right into the slipstream. This guy behind us is swerving a little bit, so a little bit of reckless driving, I'd say. Out of that first corner, nothing too reckless. Guy behind us is gaining just tidily. Getting a decent exit out of that corner, so being on the mediums, not quite sure what everybody else is on, but assuming the guy in front of us is on the softs, keeping up pretty decently. That guy behind us starting to slowly go up, about 0.6 of a second at the moment. So gonna make a slight mistake coming out
out of that corner, going onto the grass a bit, but nothing too much to worry about. It does look like there was a slight incident behind us. Gonna open that gap. Ooh, and making a slight mistake. It looks like we both actually might have hit a slick spot on the track on that corner, so not quite too sure what that was, but hopefully nothing like that happens again. And that John is definitely a monster on these straights. Finished at a 1:49 for that first lap. Definitely a little bit of a reckless first lap. So as these positions start to pan out, we will see how these fast laps start to pan out. Going on the grass a little bit, so definitely pushing the limits in this car right now, but maintaining our position. Having the fastest time actually at the session through that sector, and it looks like there was a little bit of contact with the wall in front of us, so I'm going to gain slightly through this straight, but nothing too much. That second behind us, or that gap behind us at about a second. And, these medium tires definitely not as grippy as the soft tires, so when we do make that switch onto these softs, should hopefully see a better result in the car. Hoping to not hit that slick spot. A bit tighter line, and definitely a lot better going through that section. That gap in front of us looking at about 3 seconds. Definitely not wanting to let that leader get too far ahead of us, but we're going to see what all we can do. Out of that corner. That Genesis in front of us, definitely very fast. Great driver, it looks like. And actually looks like there might be some mistakes on our end as that gap behind us starting to close. Not what we want to see. Although us being on the mediums, hopefully, you know, a lot of these guys are on the softs. That's what we're looking for. You know, hoping when we make that switch on to the softs, the faster of the two, we'll see a little bit of a difference. And 41.6 for Kenneth on that lap, so definitely faster than any lap I've put together, I would say. We do have another Porsche behind us who's to potentially get an overtake done here in these next coming corners. Not getting as good of a exit throughout that first corner, so gonna have that gap go up slightly. up on this 5th lap. Definitely want to start thinking about our pit strategy and how we want to go about that. Getting a pretty decent exit out of that corner. Making sure not to let this guy slip into our slipstream. Looks like there might have been a big mistake on his part back there, so that gap's going to go to about 2 seconds. That's exactly what we want. So I do think we are going to take maybe one more lap and then hop onto the soft tires. That gap in front of us starting to actually come down just a bit. Just below the 6-second mark. But like right up above that 6-second mark again. Definitely very good through this section from what I've noticed. We seem to be pretty good through the first section, gaining a little bit, and he gains it right back through the second section of this course. So, or this circuit. A little bit of contact with that wall. Lose a bit of time. It's alright. We are going to hop into the pits for this next lap. We are going to hope that the guy in front. Oh, wow. Making a little bit of contact in the wall right there. Going to lose some time. Luckily, not too much from the guy behind us, but going to be just enough to hurt us a bit in front of us. Although we are going to hop into the pit lane right now, so. And we are not going to be refueling. So it does look like the person behind us, Master Blaster, are going to be pitting with us. It looks like he was on the softs, so going to be switching on to the mediums, us switching on to the softs. Faster than 2. Should be able to pull away hopefully very soon. Does look like wrinkled. We're not going to finish that, but was also on the softs as well, so. Ooh, a little bit of contact coming out of that corner from Smasher Cat. So, losing a little bit of time, or positions. Whoa, and he looks of it, maybe just braking way too soon on that corner. I'm not exactly sure what that was, but he gained that position right on back. And these soft tires definitely feeling a lot better, so should hopefully start making up some ground, and we will see. We do know Kenneth, with a 33-second gap in front of us, has not pitted. Realistically, what we are hoping for is a mistake, and ooh, looks like there might have been a little mistake from the Dirty Dog in front of us. Looks to have maybe spun out on that corner. So, a lot of people in front of us having not pitted quite yet. Definitely might start seeing some, ooh, gonna go a bit wide through that section. Still gaining on the person in front of us, so it does look like the tire wear in front of us might play a factor. May be able to attempt a overtake in these upcoming laps. We have seen Kenneth on not the freshest of tires, still gaining time actually. So we are going to want to put our head down and actually just really try and gain on him. When he goes into the pits, we're gonna want to try and get as close as possible, and hopefully, assuming he goes in on lap 8 or 9, gonna try and go for the overtake on the final lap. That would be ideal. So gaining on Remstappen in front of us. That gap coming just below 2 seconds now, and definitely starting to decrease. I believe he's in a Ford GT, so definitely a fast car. Although I could be wrong. I don't think that's a Ford. Utilizing those lines right there. And looks like just turning and spitting out just a tad right there. Gonna have about a 20-second gap in front of us. Tito, having not pitted yet, should be able to catch him when he does pit. Remstappen going into the pits behind us actually, so shouldn't have to worry about him. Gonna have that gap behind us, come about 5 seconds. And, going into that corner a bit too fast, but not to worry. Starting to really come down. Might have been a slight mistake, maybe loss of traction in front of us. See a decent exit coming out of that corner, and that gap coming below 20 seconds now. So most likely, definitely catching this Titoski while he goes into the pits. The fact of the matter is, I believe Kenneth. Is going into the pits right now. You should see Titoski come out just after him. So ideally what we do want to see is 0 mistakes into this section, get a good exit, and we really want to see if we can catch him coming out of the pits. If we can, there is a possible chance we can attempt an overtake. And it does look like Titoski actually not pitting. And for some reason, I do. Oh, there we go. As we cross the line, it looks like about a 17-second hit. So it does look like Kenneth may not have I'm not exactly sure. I do know it's a 24-second hit, so might have done my math a bit wrong. But I do know Titoski, I believe, is not pitted yet, unless he was one of the people who had pitted quite early. I do believe Kenneth actually, starting on the soft tires, is going to be switching out of the mediums. So we'll see what we can do on this last lap coming up. Making a little bit of contact into the wall right there. Definitely late, tired. Some sleep deprivation starting to kick in. So it doesn't look like we're seeing Titoski hit. I could be wrong. Unless he hits on the last lap, he might have been one of the people who had pitted at the very beginning. Unless he didn't pit. So may that be the case? I do believe it is a minute penalty, something along out of that corner. Really good exit out of that corner. Out of the final corner, gonna be a pretty decent exit. Wish we could have done that earlier in the race, but gonna finish what looks like to be in third. So not too bad. Starting in third place, finishing in third place. And yeah, actually, if I'm not wrong, Satoshi not pitting, so he's gonna get a minute penalty. But it looks as if a few guys getting actually some big penalties, so not exactly sure as to what for, but gonna be actually finishing off in second place, moving up one position compared to where we started. Not too bad, I'd say. So we got that Genesis in first, me in second, the Porsche on 11. Wow. Two R8s actually gonna be in third and fourth. Genesis and another R8 after that. The Porsche who was behind us gonna be finishing in seventh place actually. So not ideal. Clean race bonus, definitely what we want to see. Having a clean race, getting a little prize right there, and yeah, gonna be definitely gaining a little bit in both categories. So from the looks of it, that did bump us up into sportsmanship rating A, which is definitely where we want to be. If I'm not wrong, the highest of the ratings. Definitely want to keep it there. That's the goal. And that driver rating definitely starting to approach that B rating. So definitely want to get that and hopefully get up to the A rating. Definitely gonna have to improve our driving a little bit. But I do believe that is gonna end tonight's stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Only got 2 viewers, but hey, that is what it is. Appreciate the support, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully, we can get up to a driver rating B. That'll be the main goal. So should be streaming tomorrow. Not exactly sure when, but should be earlier in the day. So I'll see you guys, and you guys have a good one.